Mushrooms are amazing creatures. Scientists assigned them a separate kingdom, which has a huge number of mushrooms in the world. They are one of the oldest inhabitants of the planet and deserve to talk about them in more detail. We have collected the most interesting facts about mushrooms. Each mushroom contains approximately 90% water. Therefore, when fried, mushrooms are significantly reduced in size, and if you plan to use raw mushrooms, for example, champignons, in a salad, then it is better to clean them without water. Mushrooms are not for everyone. So, the Germans, beloved in Central Russia, consider pink waves and rusula to be poisonous. The French are afraid to eat honey mushrooms and the same rusula. Italians believe that butterflies are poisonous. Even the noble porcini mushroom fell under the suspicion of the Europeans. For example, in Switzerland, their porcini mushrooms are at risk of being harvested. The nutritional value. Mushrooms contain many valuable nutrients. They are a source of proteins and carbohydrates, but they do not contain cholesterol. In addition, mushrooms are rich in antioxidants and vitamins, B1, B2, D, as well as selenium and potassium. Indeed, mushrooms are a protein product and saturate well. But in many ways, the feeling of satiety, as in legumes, is created by fiber. For example, in chanterelles it is 3.8 grams. As for calories, depending on the variety, it ranges from 20 to 40 kilocalories per 100 grams. So for those who adheres to vegetarianism or fasting, mushrooms are a great way to introduce a high-quality protein and at the same time plant product into the diet. Well, you can talk about taste nuances in general endlessly. Few products can boast both rich flavor notes, rich aroma and perfect compatibility with meat, even with vegetables, even with cereals or pasta, even with fish or seafood. Mushroom sauce will fill even the most insipid dish with harmony and meaning. Mushrooms are suitable for any habitat conditions. Mushrooms can be located at high altitude, in rotten stumps. Mushrooms have successfully adapted to life in water and survive under conditions of enormous pressure, up to 80,000 atmospheres. Even radiation is not scary for them. In 2002, in Chernobyl, a robot discovered mushrooms that grew well not in forests between trees, but on an abandoned reactor. But how did they do it? They were helped by melanin, a substance that protects the skin from ultraviolet and radiation. There are really a lot of mushrooms. Scientists count about 2 million species of mushrooms that grow on our planet. Among them are edible and not, as well as poisonous. Not all have been studied. They counted, but they did not manage to study the whole kingdom. So far, the hands of researchers have reached only hundreds of thousands, so there is still a lot of work ahead. The mushroom kingdom is headed by the white mushroom, and for good reason. The mushroom king has an amazing vitamin and mineral composition and a decent amount of protein. Chanterelles are also especially loved by doctors for their anti-tumor and immunomodulating properties, as well as for the ability to rid a person of parasites without harm to the body. Not everyone goes for mushrooms. And literally, in many countries only cultivated champignons are eaten. The rest of the mushrooms grow quietly in the forest, without the threat of being plucked. Mushrooms can replace meat. Mushrooms are very nutritious. They have a lot of proteins and slow carbohydrates, no fats and an excellent composition of nutrients. If we talk about the monetary value of mushrooms, then the truffle has firmly established itself in the first place. In many countries, it is recognized as a delicacy. The cost for 100 grams reaches 600 euros. It hides underground, and the best hunters for these mushrooms are pigs, which are specially trained to look for truffles. But among truffles there is an absolute champion. Once a white truffle was sold at auction for $300,000. China leads in the number of grown mushrooms. It accounts for 2/3 of the market for cultivated mushrooms. Even if you are not an avid mushroom picker, knowing the culinary intricacies of handling mushrooms will not hurt. Moreover, there is absolutely no need to go to the forest for them, you can just buy them in the store. Champignons are universal mushrooms. They will gladly go to soup, sauce, stew, marinade, salad, frying pan, and generally anywhere except drying. The rule of thumb when simmering mushroom broth or soup is medium or low heat to retain as much of the nutrients as possible. By time, cooks are advised to focus on the variety and size of mushrooms. It takes 5 to 7 minutes for champignons to reach readiness, medium-sized forest mushrooms 20 to 25 minutes, and large ones 25 to 40 minutes. Stewed mushrooms are tender and delicate in taste. To preserve the structure as much as possible, first heat the pan with a small amount of vegetable oil, put the mushrooms and fry over low heat for 15 to 20 minutes. One of the easiest ways to cook mushrooms is to grill them, for which medium-sized mushrooms are suitable. Here are some interesting facts about mushrooms that we have collected and told how easy it is to cook them deliciously. You are on the EasyFood channel. We make it easy and fun. Subscribe and stay with us. Don't miss the following videos.